All right, welcome everybody to the Wednesday afternoon team call. The topic today is going to be the 500 PV model. I'll go into more detail. I'm going to have another video to share with you guys so that you guys know from another coach that explains one aspect of it better. But I put together some materials and some things today that'll help you understand how to build the 500 PV model directly, so that clears up some things for you guys. Just some quick news and announcements that I want to make sure we go over is to mark your calendar. I know we're moving into the Christmas holiday. November's ending. I want everybody to understand and know that this is the hardest time to be a Team Beachbody coach. So it's going to require extra effort, but I say that so you don't get hard or down on yourself when people don't respond as much throughout this season, because people are planning for Christmas and the holidays and budgeting, and it is a difficult time for many people. So take that into account, so that you have more empathy for people as you're building relationships and inviting them into your challenge groups throughout this season. And I say that so I've already seen it from a couple of my newer coaches where they're struggling at this time through this month, November and moving into December. So just want you to know that it is a difficult month, not just for Beachbody, but for all health and fitness industries. It's the slowest months in the gyms and so forth as well. So understand that. It just means we're going to have to be more creative through this time. So with that being said, I want you guys to know and mark your calendar for Beachbody Super Saturday, which will be coming up on January 6th of 2018, which is crazy that 2018 is almost here. But January 6th, 2018, there's going to be a Super Saturday. If you just search www.coachfaq and go to the search Super Saturday 2018 or January 2018, it'll pop up. It'll give you a hyperlink that you can click and get access to all the locations that will be hosting close to you. And they'll continue to populate more locations as the month of December continues on and gets closer to the date. But just mark the calendar, make yourself free that day so that you can get there. One of the things I'm going to be talking about on the call today is about events. So that's why I want you guys to make sure that you mark your calendar now for Super Saturday, January 16th. The other date that I want you guys to mark your calendar for and set a goal for is to come to Beachbody Coach Summit with us. It's the annual Coach Summit where we have about 25,000 people. We're going to be in Indianapolis between June 21st and the 24th. So if you want to come, I encourage you to set the goal now, make the decision now to make it there. One thing to know as a new coach, if you hit Success Club in your first 3 full months of your coach business, you get a free ticket to Summit. Another thing to take note of is that if you purchase your ticket as a new coach in the first 90 days, that ticket is like $100 off. So that's a bonus for you guys that are new as well to make the decision now. The way that I look at it is it's a must. Coach Summit is a must. It's our annual convention, celebration, and training, and it's the place where you get to go and celebrate with us as a team in person, but also to see the bigger picture what Beachbody is all about. It's one of my favorite events of the year. We want you there, and I know if you're brand new, you might be thinking, I don't know if I can afford that. I don't know if that's possible for me to make it there, but I want you guys to know that anything and everything is possible if you set a date. We have a long time until June. Not a long time, but we do have time for you to set goals, especially after what we're going to learn on the team call today, how to earn some commissions, how to set volume goals for you and your future team so that you can pay for your trip to Summit with your coach business and reinvest it in that way. So, but the decision comes with first the decision of making the choice to go there, because if you don't set your sights on it or set the goal, June's going to come and you're going to see us there and you're going to be disappointed that you're not there. I've seen it year after year for 7 years. So I want you guys to make the decision right now to come with us. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out and recognize Carl Marriott for hosting and leading the team call last week while I was away with family for Thanksgiving here in the United States. So thank you, Carl, for hosting that for us all the way from London. I watched that recording and that playback, listened to a lot of it live on the phone, actually. And you had a lot of value to add to us. So I want to say thank you for your leadership and for leading inside the team. And I am going to answer your question at the end of this call, Carl, about challenge groups. But let's move right into this picture that I have here. Carl, can you see the picture of the pine? Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do, and we're on Zoom, and we're live on Facebook Live and Team Dynasty as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this picture up. We're going to talk about this mighty pine. And actually, I'm not going to make it big so I can see your guys' faces. Okay, so this is the mighty pine. I gathered some resources, got together with some other leaders, and got this little worksheet together to make it more visual for you guys. Today's specific topic is going to be on building some income for your business. You personally through personal volume, and you through your team with team volume. And I know Carl last week, if you didn't watch that, you can go back and check it, talked about kind of simplifying working in groups of 5 or so, right, of helping someone get started, get them up on their feet and moving, and then you move on to the next group. So you can watch that call from last week as well to help understand this a little bit, but this will coincide directly with that. So take note, make a note to watch the video called the 500 PV model. It's on my YouTube channel from Leadership, where what we would call a great grandma coach. She's not even in our upline, but she is a part of Team Beachbody, and we're all a part of the same team. She did a training at Leadership about the 500 PV model, which will help you understand with graphics of like diamond and emeralds, and it's going to show a picture of what that looks like. And I think it's important that you see that video as well. But just search Milan, Milan, Jensen, 500 PV model. I have it. I'm sure some other coaches might have recorded it and put it up as well. So probably she has a channel with it as well. But watch that. It's going to really help you see what we're talking about today in the picture of building a team of, sponsoring one coach on the left, one on the right, another one on the left, one on the right, but building it strong. And that's why we're calling this the mighty pine. We're going to talk about building a really strong foundation and a really strong team, and how you can do that in a way that you can track it as well. So this is a sheet. I'm going to upload it as a file into my Google Drive and put it in a link of this recording. I'll also upload it into the team page so that you guys know that you guys will have that. It'll be in the recording if you go to the description of the YouTube video recording of this, it'll be there as well as a download so that you guys can have it. But I'm going to walk you guys through this worksheet. PV tracking for the month of, and I left that blank there so you could put December, or you could put January, whatever month you're in. You could print these out, 12 of them, and set goals at the beginning of each month of what you want to do personally. So this is going to be able to help you track in your personal volume, and this is going to be remember, your personal volume is going to be with existing customers as well as with new customer signups. Your personal volume is going to come from new customer signups and existing customers that either purchase something again, or they're on a residual or a monthly auto ship of a program, or of, like, it could be like Energize, it could be Shakeology, future here in the US could be the bars, and in Canada and in the UK eventually after. But you can begin to set some goals for yourself at the beginning, and then mark it off visually by like shading it or putting a star in it whenever you get some volume. So I'm going to use this specifically. Every week, for example, my personal volume is between 1,000 and 1,500, sometimes up to 2,000 volume. So I would, for me personally, I would put each circle, as I use this, you can use it as you would like, right? I'm going to use it. Each circle is going to represent 100 volume points. So every time I have 100 volume points in that month, I'm going to shade it in, and I can track my goal like that. And so that's going to help you guys with that. And then this is just going to be estimate, because it's going to vary from one product to the next, from a challenge pack versus Shakeology standalone, BOD standalone. The volume points are going to vary a little bit, depending on whether it's a challenge pack or an individual product. So when I share these volume-based income goals right here, I don't know. Does this zoom it for you guys, Carl, if I do that? Okay. Can you see it good right there? Okay. So if I, so it's an estimate. I want you guys to understand it because there's a difference. Like a challenge pack has a specific volume amount, and so does a individual product. And then the commission, for example, for Shakeology is one amount, and for a challenge pack is a set amount. So like when it's in a challenge pack, you get a slightly larger commission. Your customer gets a slightly discount. It's kind of a good discount, actually, not slight. They get a great discount on the products, the BOD and Shakeology together in a challenge pack, but you also get a bigger commission when they're combined versus when they're separate. So that's why this is an estimate only right here. So this is just to kind of help you guys understand. So for example, if you're going to set your own commission goals for your own personal volume of sales, not from your team, for yourself, a 500 PV is going to equal an estimate of about $125 a month. Okay, 500 PV of sales. Remember, this is new customers or getting acquisition on an old customer, or continuing a customer on their monthly Shakeology or Energize or whatever it is they're using. That's where all these PV points are going to come from. So it's going to require acquiring new customers as well as maintaining existing customers that you guys have. So 800 PV, you guys can see the chart, will equal about approximately $200 a month. 1600 PV, about approximately $400 a month. And so forth. And so when I say that I have, for example, my personal volume of my customers is on average 1,000 to 1,500, you could say that I'm making, and that's for my weekly PV, I'm making for my own personal sales, not from the team, on average $400 a week for my own personal efforts of sales and retention of my own customers. Nothing to do with coaches. None of my team of coaches, only customers. So if I had 0 coaches and I just worked with customers, the amount of effort I put in with Success Club 10 monthly and maintaining customers, starting new customers, would be about $400 for me a week, because I'm about 1,600 PV a week. We're looking at month goals here, but that's just to give you an idea. So that would be $1,600 a month without having a team of coaches, is what I would be making about with just customers if I didn't want to build a team. So that is a way for you to set volume goals for yourself, kind of give you an idea. Like I just mentioned, if you want to go to Summit, you could look at your flight and say, my flight's going to be $750. I would need 3,000 personal volume points, and I would have about that much commission that I could reinvest into my flight or whatever it is. So I put we have a little quote here. It says, and there's a place for you as well to write your personal goal for your PV for the month. Remember, it's important to set goals. We could go into a whole thing about goals, but I'm not going to do that today. But a meaningful life is not being rich, being popular, being highly educated, or being perfect. It's about being real, being humble, being able to share ourselves and touch the lives of other people. So remember that that's what we're doing as coaches. I have to throw that in because I don't like looking at the numbers. I don't like looking at volume points, this and that. I like looking at like Hannah's weight loss after the baby, Chris's 70-pound weight loss. And so I wanted to make sure that we insert that in here, because this business won't work if that's not the main focus. So main focus, remember that, is changing lives through these programs. But to build a business, we need to understand how the money side works. So we put together here, we call it the menu. So if you go into a restaurant, there's a menu with prices. Okay, so we have this put together here for some, and notice how I worded it, healthy solutions for your friends. These are some healthy solutions to help them improve their health and their fitness and live a healthier, more fulfilling life, which is our purpose as a Team Beachbody coach. So I know in Canada, in the UK, some of the products that I mentioned are not available right now, but some of the main ones that I use are. So we won't go into that right now, but they will eventually come. But here's the menu. And so as you set goals on the left side of this sheet for your own personal sales, you can then begin to look at what type of options you have to help your customer with so that you can hit those personal volume goals. So to give you an idea, Shakeology ranges from 15 to 90 PV. And I share 15 because there's Shakeology sampler packs, Clean Week, and the Sort, which have personal volume tied to it as well. Lower amounts like that because it's a lower price product. Shakeology, a 30-day bag of Shakeology is 90 volume points. So that's the max. That's why it's 15 to 90 volume points. So the same goes with Daily Sunshine, 15 to 90 personal volume points. The Performance line, 15 volume points. So like Energize, Recover, Recharge, any of those. 15 volume points aligned to that. For example, I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm looking to boost my own personal volume. And I've realized that, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story right here. I did my first ever Facebook stories. I don't use those. And I covered the wrapping, I guess I can't think of the word, dang it, of my Energize. So they couldn't see it was Energize. So people don't know what it is, so they can't search it. And I just told them how my magic juice just came in, and I've been missing it for 3 days. And I had this crazy dream where I was looking for it everywhere. And anyway, I'm starting to do that because I'm going to have a goal. Like, I use it every day, and I feel like I can't live without it. And I don't talk to any of my challengers about getting energized unless they ask about it. So I'm going to work on increasing my volume because my volume's all through Shakeology. I'm going to work on adding in, making sure that I'm educating and showing people that I use Energize. So I'm going to increase my own. That's one way that I'm going to hit my higher goal that I have of being over 2,000 a week in my personal volume by introducing and getting people started on Energize. Because I can't live without it, and oftentimes I'm like 2 tubs a month. So there you go. So giving you guys some ideas. So one of the, like for example, the Reset Plus Refresh is 160 volume points. The Healthy Reset Healthy Digestion, 52 to 150. The Shakeology Boosts. Here's another thing. I use all of the Shakeology Boosts, and I've never posted anything about it on Facebook or talked to my clients about it. So there's the Boost, 23 to 94 volume points. Fixate Portion Control is 24 to 35 volume points. Activate Multivitamins, 30 volume points. Clean Week is 22 volume. Beachbody On Demand, getting someone on the year membership, even if they don't use Shakeology, which is okay, remember, is 22 volume points. And Challenge Packs are 38 personal volume points. So that gives you guys, oh, sorry, that's off a little bit. Oh, I see where I missed it. Okay, Challenge Packs are 105 to 225. I'm going to readjust that sheet before I upload it. Up at the Performance line, it's 15 to 160 volume points, and everything is bumped up. Sorry about that. So you guys get that? See what I did there? Okay, all those bump up. I'll fix that on the sheet. So, like, I gave you an idea of what I'm going to do to increase my customer personal volume points. But what I'm going to do is give you guys some ideas of how you can get people onto these programs, onto these products, and experience these things. And some of the groups, here's some ideas. You can run challenge groups, which I'm going to answer your question at the end, Carl. You can run a free group of any sort. For example, I'm planning a free group right now that I'm going to be running on meditation. Why meditation? Because meditation just helped me overcome a problem I have that I know other people have. So I have a huge market of people that have anxiety, or they're stressed, or any sort of things, have high blood pressure, any of those things. I'm going to target my messaging on Facebook to find people that are like that, and I'm going to host a free group where we do 10 minutes of meditation every day. Inside of that free group, I'm going to be able to introduce them to things like yoga from Beachbody On Demand. I'm going to be able to introduce them to Clean Week. I'm going to give everything I can freely to them in that meditation, my experiences, everything from me without charging anything. And here's the thing that Gary Vaynerchuk teaches. If you give, this is his philosophy, if you give people enough stuff for free, this is how he words. I don't really like the way he words it, but it's the way it is. eventually they kind of feel obligated to buy something from you because you've given them so much, or you've helped them change their life so much, that when you say, hey, try out Energize, like this really helps me get an extra boost of energy before my workout, they're going to take the value of not just the price of Energize, but everything you've given to them in that free group. So remember that. So free groups are an option. Using the Clean Week is going to be a great option as well. A glimpse into coaching, our group, glimpse into challenge group. We on this team, we call that the Coach Sneak Peek. That's a great opportunity for you. You could lead a group like that, co-host a group with another member on this team, host one with me. I'm always open to that. You just ask me and we'll plan one and host it. And then also you could do, people do supper clubs. They do coffee get-togethers. They do all kinds of things. So there's all kinds of things, all kinds of groups you can lead. I know Jennifer Greenberg at times did like I can't remember exactly what she called it, but it was like a morning coffee thing where she got on Facebook Live with a cup of coffee, and she just chatted with people that got on Facebook Live with their cup of coffee, and they just had like this group, and they did that every morning together and just talked about life and had friendships like that. So there's lots of options of groups that you can lead. Do like I mentioned what I've been through, and I'm going to do a meditation group. Do something that feels right to you. Don't do what you see the most successful person, or what you appears to you to be the most successful person doing. Do what you know. Do something that you know. If you're great at budgeting for Christmas shopping, host a budgeting for Christmas shopping group, right? Carl's like, not me. But figure out what it is that you have experienced, that you're good at, and help people inside of a group like that. Okay, I'm going to check this chat real quick. Okay, so, that's a good one. Hannah's doing a Christmas kid, like crafty one. That's a great idea. Christmas crafts for kids, all kinds of things like that. So here's some ideas of events that you can host. Okay, and I'm gonna emphasize on this one heavily emphasize on this one. I listened to Alyssa on the National Wake Up Call in the UK, and she talked about, I think it was her that said, make social media more social. I'm going to go even further than that and like yes, you can build this business extremely well on social media, because you can reach people that you could no wise other reach without it. Like everyone I've met in the UK, I met through social media, right? But I think too often we're spending too much time on social media and not actually looking someone in the eyes, or going out to coffee with them, or to tea, or taking them to lunch, or going on a double date, or taking the kids to play together at the park, those types of things. And that's where you're going to actually build stronger relationships and more community and more tribe when you're in person. Everybody in the UK that I met can tell you how much more powerful it was to eat lunch together in person than it was to just be on a Zoom chat. Zoom chats are good, yes, but being in person is much better. Riding around the country with Carl and with Froso was much more powerful than a video chat or a phone call or a Facebook message. So remember that. That's going to be much more powerful. So when I mention these events, these are ideas where you can create that inside of your hometown. So an idea is a fit club. I have a video on my YouTube channel, how to start a fit club. That's what I did in the beginning of my journey. There's still one running here in Idaho Falls, and we're looking at expanding it and doing something different where it's a coach connection versus just a workout. But a fit club, in my first year, we built it from 3 people, me and my first 2 coaches, inviting everybody we knew and having nobody come for like a month, to 80 people every week, where people would come, they'd love it, they'd bring their friends. Their friends would love it, they'd bring their friends. And what happened eventually, they all got on Shakeology, they all became a part of Team Beachbody, and they fell in love with the community. So buying BOD and Shakeology was not an issue because they were buying into the community, and then they fell in love with the products as well. So a fit club is a good idea. Like I said, I have a video on how to host one. Shake and share. I don't talk about this quite as much as I should. I taught about it. My first year, I got to teach at Summit in a workshop in front of like 7,000 people, and scared the crap out of me. is I taught on how to do a shake and share, and how I used to take a blender, a bag of Shakeology, and I would go to my brand new coach's house, and they would invite their friends over, and we would have like a healthy snack or dinner together, and we'd blend up Shakeology for them, share our transformation photos with them, and invite them to our community, to our fit club. And I would do 2 of those a week, where I would take my kids with me, the kids would play with their kids, and I would let them taste the shake. Just like when I was sitting at Hannah's house and Sammy and Hannah tasted the shake for the same time. That's what I did. We sat at the table, like at the breakfast table, had tea, whatever it is we did, and I would share shake with them, and we'd just chat. That's called the shake and share. So nothing, I didn't have a formal process to it other than just saying, hey, this works. I lost 38 pounds. You can see the picture right here. I'm doing P90X using Shakeology. This is what it tastes like. Give it a shot. And we just began to educate people like that. So the next one is Super Saturday. I mentioned that already. The power about Super Saturday is like people like see what we're doing online and they think it's some weird cult, some weird thing that we're doing. Super Saturday is your opportunity to go there in person, be around people live in real life, and take pictures, take videos, put it on your social media, and your friends that are following you can be like, oh crap, this is something real. This is like people working out together. This is a real community of people. And they become more interested in that when they see that it's just a real thing, not some online, because people are afraid of online things sometimes. So when they can see that it's actual in-person people, there's some power behind that as well. So one thing that I do every Super Saturday that I don't really teach people is I record the success stories on my phone or live video, and I put them on my YouTube channel. So it helps me have transformation stories to share, content from my YouTube. People can see that. It's also a great way for you to invite you should not go to Super Saturday alone. Like my goal is always at least 2 people, which is a very minimum people, to bring 2 friends that are not a part of Team Beachbody or their customers that should be coaches. I bring them to Super Saturday with me so they can see what Beachbody coaching is. They can see the community and the people and hear the stories. Another thing would be local team building. I mentioned that. What we're working on, one of our downline 5-star diamond coaches in Brigitte Linford's downline just moved here from Utah to Idaho, and she just reached out to me, and we're planning to start something called a coach connection, which would be where we just get local coaches get together at least once a month or every other week, and we just chat, brainstorm, share ideas and whatnot. So there's a lot of things you can do like that for local team building. I personally, every year, except this year, we use the UK as our excuse, I guess you could say. Every year we do a team retreat where we invite all of my personally sponsored coaches. We rent like a mansion or 2 mansions, and we set up a game plan or a plan where my coaches can pay to come, or they can earn their way with hitting Success Club. Like if they hit Success Club for 3 months, they come for free. If you don't hit Success Club, it's $50 for the 3 months that you missed Success Club, and you can pay $150. Come stay in the house with us for 3 days, be in all the training, be with the coaches. So we've done things like that every single year. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I don't know how I could ever afford that. None of my retreats, except our diamond retreat where we took all of our diamonds to the Dominican Republic, all of our retreats pretty much paid for themselves. By just setting up a cost of like $100 or $150 for everybody to come. And that covered the cabin. Our first one was 6 people. It covered the cabin for 3 nights and the food. And we hosted a team retreat where it just cost everybody $150. And we spent 3 days together, and it was powerful. So there's lots of things you can do. You could do a launch event, which would be like, let's say, 80-Day Obsession is coming out. You could do an online group like we do a Coach Sneak Peek group, and you can educate people for a week about what the 80-Day Obsession is. Just a lot of different things like that. Launch events, also like the UK launch event, that was what we consider a launch event as well. You could do live Zoom training, workout accountability. That's something I've never done and wouldn't fit like my way of doing it. But what that would be, I guess I've done live Facebook videos, but you could, if you have let's say a challenge group, let's say you have, Carl, let's say you have 5 buddies that get Beachbody On Demand and you're all doing the same program. Let's say you're doing the 21-day fix. You could coordinate if you wanted a certain time every day you do it, and you get on Facebook or you get on Zoom and you guys do it together. So you start at the same time, you guys are doing it together. So there's all kinds of ideas of types of events that you could host. Informational webinars would be like presenting Team Beachbody, everything about what it means to be a customer or a coach, joining your team. You could put together a webinar or a presentation, and you could make a Facebook event and invite people to it. We did this once with the UK, remember? We did a live video. I did like an hour live presentation, but we invited people to it for a couple weeks. So I see Sammy's little girl, hi. But there's all kinds of ideas that you guys can do, different types of events. So pick something that matches your personality, something that you would want to do specifically that would match your personality. So with that being said, that's all I wanted to share about this. This aspect, let me zoom this out real quick so it's not so big. Okay, this aspect of the 500 PV model that I just taught you has only to do with your personal volume of sales, nothing to do with a team. I'm going to paint a little bit bigger picture for you. You're going to need to watch that video by Milan Jensen on the 500 PV model. But this is for you personally. Remember, if you ever want one of your coaches or future teammates that you bring onto the team to produce or to build a business or to do something, you must first be doing it yourself and hitting the goals that you have for yourself before you have them, setting goals, helping them set goals. So this is going to help you set your personal volume goals. The other video you're going to watch on the 500 PV model is going to show you what this will do for your team when you can get your teammates. Like I'm looking at this video, bigger picture. Okay, you guys are a part of my team, right? If I'm doing this and I can teach you guys how to set these personal volume goals, it's going to take, okay, so Carl right now is 90 personal volume points in my team, right? He has his own Shakeology. But if I can teach him to set 500 personal volume point goal for this month by using what we taught today, getting some people on Shakeology or the performance line, now Carl is going to make approximately $125 if we look over here. But he's also going to be 500 volume points inside of my business for my team. Does that make sense? Right? So this is how you're going to help build your team and build it strong. Because when you watch Milan Jensen's video, you can be a diamond with 4 coaches on each side with 90 personal volume points. But it's a very weak and flimsy tree, right? You want to build this solid and mighty pine, right? And the way you're going to do that is by building or teaching your team how to use amazing line of products that we have, not just for themselves, but to help give those healthy solutions to their friends and their prospects that they're adding value to through these groups and through the events that you can host as a coach. So as you think about this, remember, yes, you can do a lot on social media, but we got to step off of social media a little bit too and work with the people that you have directly around you. So I'm going to hop off this video real quick, not off the entire video, but so I can see you guys right here. Carl, your question, if you want to, let me see. I'm reading the questions real quick. So Carl, you're asking, do you need insurance for a fit club? Jackie, I'm going to answer that question real quick. The question is on the video on my training about the fit club, but no, you don't. What I do suggest is there's some forms that you can print out, like, what do you call it? Release of liability forms that you can edit that releases Team Beachbody and yourself and the location you're at from any, I don't know the legal term, but I just have them sign that at the door as they're coming. And then they just need to sign it once, and then we had a folder for it. Yes, a disclaimer, that's the word, Carl. A disclaimer. Carl, what was your question about the event, or your question about an event?
So I'm muted. I've got the opportunity to do a Christmas fair, which lasts for about 3 weeks. So I'm just going to get to talk to random strangers.
Yes.
Uh,
What do you do? So I've done these before.
okay.
Carl, I think this is your zone. Like, honestly, you're a person-to-person person.
Yeah.
For the people, person-to-person person.
Yeah. One-to-one.
You're very personable.
Thank you.
So, like, the magic behind it is going to be you can have a table there, and I'll give you some ideas of what I would put on there.
Okay.
But the magic of, because there's people are going to be walking past a lot of tables, so what's going to grab their attention is going to be your personality in front of the table, not sitting behind it, shaking hands, high-fiving people, making people feel good. And then they're going to stop and look at what you have on the table. And you just talking to them there. That's all I would focus on. But what I did is I took my laptop and I created a slideshow, just a looping slideshow of transformation photos.
Okay.
And then I put, at the time we had E&E, now we have Energize. I put some Energize and bags of Shakeology so they can pick it up and look at the ingredient list as I'm talking to them and they get interested. So bag of Shakeology, maybe Energize or the Recover line. I would do that as well because you could get the weight class people that want supplements like that. I would put those up there and a slide. That's it, just basic.
Uh-huh.
And then the magic for anyone listening to this call will be how they, like, if you can catch their attention.
Yeah.
The table's not going to grab it, but if you can get them like that, then they're going to look at the pictures. They're going to look at the bag if you hand it to them and, hey, check out what's in here. And then here's the magic of what I would do is I would create and print out like a worksheet with a clipboard and put their name, have them put their name, their email, their phone number, and then I would have some check boxes for them. Yeah, that would work perfect. And I would have a checkbox that says free, like whatever type of free group you're running, like a nutrition group, a clean eating group. I want to go to Fit Club if you're going to host one. I'd like to be a part of whatever it is, a challenge group, coach opportunity, or income opportunity. Like I would just make 5 or 6 options. They could check more than one of them.
Cool.
And then that way you have a list and then you know what they want. So you can direct that conversation that way. Okay.
Perfect.
Does anybody else have a question before I end this out so you guys can get back to work? Let's see. I'm going to answer your question, Carl, real quick about challenge groups. I don't have it written down, but I know it was something about hosting a challenge group. Do you have a specific question about it that I can hit for you?
You kind of partly answered it. It was really just like, but how do I run it? Or what do I set up? But you answered it with all the other stuff.
Okay. I'm going to add something else. I was talking with Hannah a little bit about this and also talking with one of my other coaches 2 days ago about this. My best friend, I put him in a challenge group. He never posted in there, never liked or commented on anybody's stuff. Yeah, he has one of the best transformations I've ever seen. So remember that when you're hosting challenge group and Connie talks about this with the personality types, everybody's going to want something different or be held accountable different. I had like a very successful business. He owns like 4 companies in Utah, and all of his friends own companies and real estate and very successful CEOs. They're not on Facebook and they don't want to check into a group every day about their workout. So you got to understand people when you're going to help them. And so, for example, when I recruited them to my challenge group, I brought them to an event. I called one of them, Brad, and I said, Brad, hey, the CEO of Beachbody is going to be in Utah tomorrow. He's the CEO of a $1 billion company. I know you're the CEO of a few companies. Would you like to learn from how he took his business from start to a $1 billion a year company and come learn from him? And he's like, I would love to come learn from him. And it was actually an opportunity for Beachbody meeting, but I just said, hey, do you want to come learn from him? I invited him and he's like, yeah, I'd love to come. And I said, okay, let's do dinner before. Let's eat dinner at the hotel, then we'll go into the meeting. So we set that up, and then he's excited about it. I say, hey, Brad, do you have any friends that you think would like to learn the same thing? And guess what? He brought 4 people. One owns a huge charity. One of them created a company called Scipio, which is the tech service that Brendan Bouchard uses. And he brought all of them to that little dinner and to the meeting. And what happened at the end of the meeting, they all looked over at me and said, how do we get that Beachbody On Demand Shakeology access pack? And we signed them up all with Shakeology, Beachbody On Demand customers, and Shakeology. And it came from inviting people face-to-face to an event. But the story behind that on the challenge group, to help you with that, is I just put them in a text thread, all 5 of them on a text thread, all of them in one group message, and we just checked in every day. Hey boys, have you done your workout yet? Drink your shake? Nothing fancy, no bells and whistles, and just on text. So realize that each person, when you're hosting a group or a challenge group, everybody's going to be so different. So don't worry about it being perfect. Just do what works best for your customer. For my friend that lost 5 belt sizes in 42 days with 2 rounds of 21-day fix that never posted in the challenge group, it took me just texting him once a week saying, hey, you still on track, bro? Yes, I'm on track. Okay, thanks for checking in. So realize when you're doing groups work, but everybody's going to be so different. So don't get caught up in the perfect group, or my people aren't responding in this group or that group. And that's the best advice I can give you for challenge groups. I'm more personally my coaching style is I run groups. I have the large fitness and accountability group that you guys have all been a part of. That's the way I do it, is I put people into a free group like that, whether they buy or not. Help them. The ones that don't buy see everybody that is using Shakeology, and eventually they ask me about it. And so that's a strategy that works. But I still, once they purchase from me or they're interested and they start, I follow up with them privately once a week and check in with them. So hope that helps you guys out. I am going to go do my next item on my to-do list. And I'm going to teach you guys what it is, because this is something I haven't taught you guys before. I met a fitness model / personal trainer with pretty good influence on Instagram when we were skydiving. She was on our plane. I'm going to tell you guys what I did. Okay, I haven't even introduced her to the business yet. Okay, and it's been like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. But I've just been asking her what she does. She's also a dental assistant. I talked to her about that. I've asked questions about that. I've asked questions about her personal training, how she got started. I know she used to ride horses a lot. She still goes up the street to her mom's and rides horses. So I know all of this stuff about her, but I've never invited her to join the team yet. And guess what I'm doing next on my to-do list? I'm going to take, because I'm pretty good at editing videos now, I've offered her to edit her I showed her our skydiving video because she's in it. And she's like, oh, that's so freaking awesome. How'd you do that? And I said, hey, could I make your video for you? And so it's going to take me like 10 minutes. I'm going to edit her skydiving video and I'm going to send it to her. So you guys see what I'm doing here? I am just giving her stuff and helping her and adding value to her. And then one day I'm just going to say, hey, would you consider seeing how Beachbody could maybe align with what you do as a personal trainer and with your influence that you have on Instagram? And that will probably come sometime next week. So Jessica, if you watch this video, here it is. So that's one thing that I'm doing. That's part of my to-do list today, is to take 10 minutes and edit that video for her. It's like going and commenting and liking. Just remember, it's about adding value to people. That guy, Brad, that I invited to want to know what I did for Brad? Same thing. I rented one of his houses because he owns he manages our vacation rental house. So he owns a vacation rental management company. He owns a mortgage brokerage company, and he owns a real estate company. And so what did I do for him when I stayed in his house? I made video clips of every room and the place it's at, the swimming pool. I took 10 minutes with my daughter, Keena, and we edited a video, put it on Facebook. And his response was, he wrote me, he's like, dude, I've never had any guest ever spend the time to make me something. That's incredible that you did that for us. And we're like business partners. Even though he's not a coach, I refer people that want to get into the mortgages and vacation rental and that stuff. And he refers people that want to get healthy and fit to me. So remember, think outside the box. And that has nothing to do with social media other than me making him a video. So there's so many things that you could do. Remember, be creative and think outside the box. And see you later, Hannah. And we'll see you guys later, because I got to get to the rest of this list. And we'll see you guys on next week's call. See you guys.